Hello, I am Godfrey Esoh, and I'm really grateful that you are here today to be part of this wonderful occasion, which has already distinguished itself as a force of transformation among Cameroonian minds and lives. I'm talking about the Go Mad event, Go Make a Difference, organized by my brother and friend Godfrey Esoh and his team. It's always an honor for me to spend time with people like you who are passionate about life and who are passionate about empowering themselves with the tools that they need to live the life that they desire. It's no surprise to you that 95% of human beings travel from the womb to the tomb having no clue what they're doing here. They spend all their time reacting to circumstances and at best surviving. And sometimes it makes me wonder why people who tiptoe through life hoping to get to the grave safely. That's a paradox, right? So people like you who actually are actively involved in the quest for excellence, the quest for mastery, you don't make up to 5% of the human population. So I'd like you to clap for yourself, because the mere fact that you are here means that you are already a winner. What you're doing now is just gaining the tools that will make you a greater winner, a champion, a master of your game. So my presentation is titled Anatomy of the Mind. Now, anatomy is a word that biologists like us use on a regular basis. And for ordinary people, non-scientists, what does the word anatomy mean? Well, it simply means structure, the way something is organized. Now, is it not paradoxical to say that the mind has a structure? I would say not at all. My goal for today is to blow your mind away, because as you're sitting here, most of you have no clue what the mind is. Look at it this way. You have the most incredible machine that has ever been created. It's at your disposal all the time. That machine is responsible for every invention that has ever been invented in this world. Everything that's ever been created in this world by a human being was created by the mind. Every detail that makes up this wonderful civilization of ours came out of the human mind. And by extension, we can say that there is nothing that will ever be created that will not be a product of the mind. Therefore, the mind is the most amazing machine ever to exist. It's God's most incredible invention. It makes you think that humans would automatically understand that in order for them to be gods upon this earth, they need to understand the mind. But most people don't care. Mental engineering, or what some people call inner engineering, or what sometimes I call spiritual metamorphosis, It's the fundamental power, the fundamental secret that will set you apart in this world. So let us take a deep dive and see what the mind really is. I'd like to begin with this pentagram of human life. The beginning point is that you are a spirit. You are living in a quantum universe. The word quantum simply means energy. So the material universe that you're living in is built up of energy. And you're creating your experiences in this quantum universe through this incredible machine that is made up of a soul, a body, and an intellect. So that thing in between your ears is called your brain. It's not your mind. Your brain is the instrument of your mind. And the activity that is taking place right now as you're listening to me is your intellect. It's not your mind. Mind, it's a bigger dimension. Mind is a bigger mystery. And that is what I'm about to reveal to you. But before we get there, let me draw your attention to the fact that this thing you call a body has 5 levels of intelligence. At the end of this presentation, I will tie these levels of intelligence to the activities, the techniques that you often learn from motivational speakers and writers and preachers and so on. My role is to explain the science behind it, because when you understand how something works, then you can use it at will. My job is to turn you into a master. So the 5 levels of intelligence are brain intelligence, the activity that takes place in your brain, the intellect, that is brain intelligence. But your brain intelligence is just one aspect of the total body of intelligence that you have. There is something called heart intelligence. In the business world, they call it emotional intelligence. They used to think that it's just a feeling, but no. Science has now proven that there's actually a nervous system within the heart, and that the electromagnetic energy that is generated by the heart is far greater than that generated by the brain. So there's actually a heart intelligence that is scientifically proven. Then we have gut intelligence. When somebody says he has a gut feeling, no, it's not magic. It's not just some intuition or whatever. It's an actual intelligence. There's a nervous system in your gut. So you have a gut intelligence. And then you have what I call cellular and molecular intelligence. How does your DNA communicate with the rest of your body to produce the cells, the molecules, and whatever that your body needs to respond to disease and for you to grow and so on? How does it work? It's a messenger system. There are receptors on the surface of your cells that pick up signals from your body environment, communicate them to your DNA, and this communication switches on specific genes that code specific proteins that carry out specific functions in your body. So that is the cascade of events that we call cellular and molecular intelligence. In the mechanistic view of science, we used to think that this was just chemistry, but now it's no longer the case. There is a level of intelligence that is higher than chemistry involved. In fact, there is a new science called epigenetics. So your genes are not just a bunch of molecules that are replicating mechanically. These genes are being orchestrated by the environment in which they live. So finally, you have the quantum intelligence. Like I said before, the word quantum means the most fundamental particle of light, the most fundamental building block of the material universe. And these are the particles that you and everything else around you is made up of. And if you were to put on some special kind of lenses or instrument, let me not get into complicated things, you would actually see that each of us in this hall is emitting electromagnetic waves. So right now at the energetic level, you're just a bunch of electromagnetic waves with a specific signature that makes you different from some other person. So if you understand that you are a vortex of energy and you know how to influence that energy field, then you'll be able to actually work miracles. So having given you this foundation, let us now dive into what the mind really is. And then at the end, we will piece it up together and give you a formula, very easy to apply. So this part is the scientific part. The application part of it is very easy. But if you understand the science behind it, then your application also becomes deliberate and you'll be able to create amazing things in your life. So the mind, picture the mind as the blue sky, the wide blue sky without any limit. One of the most fundamental principles of the Hermetic teachings is found in the Kybalion, and it reads, "The all is mind. The universe is mental." This is called the law of mentalism. It forms the basis of all the mystical, the scientific, the philosophical, and the religious practices and domains that created the amazing civilizations of Egypt and Greece and have led to the modern science that we have today. Nothing came out of the sky. The core teachings of our ancient, our ancestors in Egypt in particular, form the basis of the mathematics of Pythagoras and the philosophy of Plato and the physics of Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein and so on. So don't be fooled. Modern science is just a grandchild of ancient philosophy. So let us picture the mind as this infinite primordial presence, which religious people would choose to call God. The important thing to note is that because this presence is the source of all things and it is self-existing, it is uncreated, it is boundless, it cannot be known per se, there is no need to define it. There is no need to limit it to a mental concept, right? So just know that the mind is this infinite creative presence in which we live and move and have our being. Now, within the mind of the universe is contained the matrix of the universe, the fundamental building blocks of the universe, which I've already revealed to you to be what? The quantum field. The quantum is the minutest form of energy, the minutest building block of matter. So within mind, you have the matrix of creation, the fundamental building blocks out of which all things are formed. And because mind is all there is, mind is present right now, right here. You don't need to do anything to get in touch with it because it is what you are. Now, if mind is all there is, and within mind there is the matrix of creation, which we have called the quantum field, then the third thing that you need to know is that within the quantum field, you have what you call infinite states of consciousness. Time and space and materiality are phenomena that are existing within mind. Therefore, mind transcends space, time, and materiality. Do you get that? Creation exists within mind. Therefore, mind exists beyond creation. And what that means is that all possibilities are existing in the here and now, because the here and now is all there is. Does that make sense to you? Therefore, the totality of creation exists in this moment in the form of states of consciousness. The difference is that right now you are experiencing only the state that you are giving your attention to. And that brings us to the fourth aspect of mind, which is awareness. Your individuality, your identity, your I amness, the you that is listening to me right now, is what we call awareness. And awareness exists within infinite mind as an individualization of mind. That is why Jesus said, I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. Individuality is within infinity, and infinity is within individuality. Now, how do you experience what you're experiencing? Because you are an awareness existing within a matrix of infinite states of consciousness, when at any given time you choose a certain state of consciousness, you're exercising the power of intention. If you follow through with that intention and give your attention to a particular state of consciousness, then you have collapsed your attention to that particular state of consciousness. You have shut out all other possibilities and decided to hatch into your experience the one state that you have chosen. And this is how manifestation occurs. The light of your awareness shines through the state that you have given your attention to. And because your awareness is divine mind individualized, it is the power of life. It is a creative power of life. Therefore, the state of consciousness that you have wedded yourself to, that you have fused your attention to, is now hatched forth into your experience as a manifestation. That's a lot, isn't it? So what happens if you're not interested in experiencing what you're now experiencing? You simply move away from that state of consciousness by withdrawing your attention from it. Like you can sit in this hall and instead of paying attention to the speaker in front of you, you decide to recall your first kiss. When you're recalling your first kiss, your attention is in that state of consciousness that exists within mind. And when I say, hey, come back to this presentation, you once more give me your attention, and there you go. You're manifesting something new. So in order to change your experiences, all you need to do is remove your attention from what you are currently experiencing, go within the matrix of creation, and choose the experience that you would rather experience and fuse your attention to it. Feel yourself being it, and you will manifest that new thing. This is the anatomy of the mind. This is the master secret of the creative process. So now let us go back to the 5 levels of intelligence. Let me show you how all of this weaves together to give you a system, a success system that you can practice on a daily basis to create the life that you want. The application is incredibly simple. The science is tough, especially if you're a beginner in this kind of science. But I invite you to watch this video over and over and over till you get it. Because the moment you get it, I bet you will become unstoppable. So here we go. The 5 levels of intelligence. As we've seen, we have brain intelligence, we have heart intelligence, we have gut intelligence, we have cellular and molecular intelligence, and we have quantum intelligence. How do you activate these levels of intelligence to orchestrate the creative process in a way that miracles will be happening in your life without effort? The science of neuro-linguistic programming, that is what this is really about. In his book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill calls it autosuggestion. The more modern version of autosuggestion is neuro-linguistic programming. And it started in the 70s as a pseudoscience, but right now it is a science because, as I have indicated to you, brain intelligence, heart intelligence, gut intelligence, cellular and molecular intelligence, and quantum intelligence are all scientific domains right now. Think of neuroplasticity, think of epigenetics, think of the wonderful new sciences that are evolving thanks to the new paradigm of science, which is quantum theory. you realize that neuro-linguistic programming is no longer a pseudoscience, it's now a scientific domain. So the 5 keys that I'm going to give you right now, there are things you hear every day at motivational seminars. You will hear lots of them today. You hear them in church. But the one thing I have done for you today is that I have given you a clue of the science behind them so that you can now practice them deliberately and intentionally and with understanding, because that is what makes you a master, someone who can deliberately create his or her own miracles. So how do you activate brain intelligence? You activate brain intelligence through visualization. When you decide what you want, the next thing is to paint a moving picture of the finished product in your mind. Your mind thinks best in pictures, not static pictures, but moving pictures. And not moving pictures about what you are going to do, moving pictures of what the finished product is. So if your goal for today is to be a millionaire, you need to start visualizing yourself as a millionaire, not how you are going to make a million. Visualize yourself being a millionaire. The next step is to activate the heart intelligence by doing what? By feeling the feeling that you would feel if the goal was already achieved. Then you activate your gut intelligence by speaking the way that successful person speaks. So when you are doing your affirmations are not confessions about what you are going to do. Your affirmations are not casting and binding evil forces. What you are affirming is actually you're actualizing in your life. So you better affirm that which you want, not that which you do not want. So this should give you an indication of how you should coin your affirmations. Speak the word of the person that you already are. Speak from the vantage point of the fulfilled desire. That is how you activate your gut intelligence to synchronize with your heart intelligence and your brain intelligence to start bringing form to your desire. Then, when you go ahead and carry out actions that mimic this new personality. So if you see yourself as a rich person and you speak as a rich person and you feel as a rich person, then it will be natural for you to act like a rich person, right? In other words, whatever it is you want, there is already something you have, and there's always someone who needs something that you can provide. So if, say, you give somebody 100 francs today, there's somebody for whom 100 francs is a miracle. You are aiming at 1,000,000 francs because you have 10,000 francs, right? Or even if you have just 1,000 francs. If you were to share 100 francs with someone who has no idea of what he's going to eat today, you have become the source of abundance to that person. Therefore, you are creating within your body the memory, the feeling, the vibration of being wealthy. Remember that at a quantum level, there is no distinction between time, space, and size. If you feel rich and act rich, then you are rich. And this brings us to the level of quantum intelligence. How does all of this sink into your energy vortex and begin orchestrating the materialization of your dream. You have to sustain it. And that's why Jesus said, pray without ceasing. He wasn't preaching, he was teaching science. You have to create a system that you practice on a routine basis. I mean, with religious commitment. Because when this system, this science of success becomes part of you, when it becomes your daily reality, that is when it gets infused into your energy vortex. And it is that energy vortex that you have created within your system and around you that now orchestrates the universe to unfailingly clothe you with the image of that which you have become. Hello! Finally, this is my face. Greetings to you from Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States of America. I thank God for the power of technology that has made it possible for me to be part of this conference. I know this 30 minutes have been really charged, but please don't be too hard on yourself. I've been researching this subject for 22 years right now, and the goal of this presentation is to give you an overview so that you will know that personal development is really a science that you can study, master, and apply, thereby taking your life away from the domain of superstition, chance, and chaos. So after this conference, you have the opportunity to watch this video over and over again. I encourage you to hook up with me and all the other speakers that you will listen to. Get a mentor, get somebody that will hold your hand and lead you on the path to self-discovery and self-mastery, because excellence is not an activity, it's a journey. In summary, mind is the infinite creative presence within which we live and move and have our beings. Mind is the intelligence that you call God. Within mind, each of us exists as an individuality, an awareness, an identity. Within mind, all things already exist as states of consciousness. The material universe of which we are a part is built out of energy, a quantum field that exists everywhere at the same time, and consequently right here, right now. That which you have been experiencing in your life is a result of the states of consciousness that you have been giving your attention to. Your current reality is a product of your social conditioning, because your environment has been programming your mind to focus on specific things, and that way you have been creating your reality without knowing what you're doing. You have simply been replicating your environment. The science of self-transformation helps you to deliberately control where your attention goes, so that you choose the reality that you want to create, and then deliberately create that reality through the practice of the keys that I have given you in this presentation, and that other speakers will emphasize on and maybe give you other versions of. The bottom line is that by the time you leave this place, make sure you have adopted a practice that you can follow on a routine basis, because it is routine practice that will reprogram your DNA to create the new self that will attract the new reality that you want to experience. It is that simple. I wish you an amazing day. I wish you an amazing life. God bless you.